In this video, we're talking about exactly where to find fractional work and why this is an important conversation. Because if you're only looking for work when you need a client, it's already too late. First, I'm going to explain the reset cycle and why that traps most fractional executives and why hunting for jobs guarantees you will always start from zero. Then I'll walk you through how to shift from hunting to farming by building a permanent opportunity system. I'll also share the exact 4 pillars exercise you need to do so your content stays perfectly aligned with those 2 a.m. issues your target client is facing. And finally, I'll explain the minimum effective OS, the exact relentless weekly routine you need to keep your pipeline full, including how to use AI to do your heavy lifting. Let's dive in. When you finish a fractional engagement, what's the first thing you do? You update your resume, you reach out to your network, you start hunting for the next role. This is what I call the reset cycle. You land a client, you put your head down, you focus entirely on delivery, and you become completely invisible to the market. And when the contract ends, you panic. You have to rebuild your pipeline from absolute zero. Every single search requires reinvention. But the market has changed, and what worked a few years ago doesn't work now. The best fractional roles, they rarely hit a job board. Companies hire from their networks first, and decision makers scan the market for signals, not resumes. Your visibility during your employed periods determines your opportunities during your search periods. If you want to know where to find fractional work, the answer is you don't find it. You build an opportunity system that makes the work find you. The biggest mistake fractional executives make is that they hunt. Hunting means you're constantly searching for the next engagement, applying when you need work, and stopping the moment you find a client. Hunting drains your energy and has zero compounding effect. You need to shift to farming. Farming means you are consistently planting seeds, creating a sustainable flow of opportunities, and building momentum that compounds over time. When you farm, these seeds grow even when you aren't actively looking for work. I know a fractional CMO who built a farming engine while she was fully booked with clients. She didn't need the work at the time, but she consistently shared her frameworks and engaged with her Dream 100. When one of her clients was acquired and her contract ended, she didn't spend a single day hunting because she'd already been farming. She already had 3 warm conversations in progress with founders who'd been following her content. She simply transitioned one of those conversations into her next contract. She didn't have to find work. The work found her. To make the work find you, you have to broadcast a market signal. But you can't just post generic industry news. Your content must sit at the exact intersection of your client's pain points and the transformation you deliver. To do this, you must complete the 4 pillars exercise. Step 1, describe your ideal client as if you were pointing them out in a crowd. What pressures are they under? Step 2, list 3 to 5 painful high-stakes problems that they care about solving right now. Stalled growth, churn, compliance risk. Step 3, flip it. What outcomes are they hungry for? What does success look like in 90 days after hiring you? Step 4, what's blocking them from getting these results on their own? Bad hire? Internal chaos? Step 5, describe the transformation you bring in plain English. From reactive operations to a proactive growth engine. Step 6, synthesize this into 4 big themes. These 4 themes are your content pillars. Every single piece of content you create must align to one of these 4 pillars. When you do this, you stop being a generic fractional executive and you become the exact solution to their specific problem. Once you have your 4 pillars, you need to create compounding content. Information expires, but perspectives, they become more valuable over time. One of the most powerful ways to do this is to create a 10 things list. Take one of your content pillars, let's say scaling sales infrastructure, and you create a list packed with actionable insights for CEOs in your specific industry. Don't write clickbait. You write provocative executive grade insights. For example, 10 things B2B SaaS founders get wrong about RevOps. Each line should include 1 or 2 sentences summarizing the point and challenging their assumptions. This type of content has evergreen relevance. It shows your thinking process and it creates a useful framework that people can actually apply. One piece of compounding content like a 10 things list is worth 100 generic LinkedIn updates. You might be thinking, I don't have time to do all of this while delivering for clients. You don't need to work harder. You just need the minimal viable fractional OS. This is your fractional operating system, Fractional OS, and it requires relentless, consistent action. First, market intelligence. You don't have time to manually scan the news every day. You need to set up AI agents to do the daily market intelligence for you. Have AI track funding rounds, leadership changes, and structural signals to deliver a brief right to your inbox. Second, relationship cultivation. You need to do 10 outreaches every single week. Not 1, not 2, 10. But here's the golden rule. For every single person you speak to, you ask for 2 more people that they can connect you with. This is how you build an exponential network. Third is signal broadcasting. You need to post 1 piece of high-value compounding content per week based on one of your 4 pillars. But more importantly, you need to spend time engaging and commenting on your Dream 100's content a minimum of 3 times a week. Engaging is more important than posting. And finally, use AI with the research for your content and your outreach. When you install this consistent AI leverage fractional OS, your network is always warm, your signal is always broadcasting, and your pipeline is never empty. So when we talk about where to find fractional work, we're not talking about looking at job boards, sending cold emails when your contract ends. We're talking about escaping the reset cycle by shifting from hunting to farming, using the 4 pillars exercise to ensure your content perfectly aligns with your target clients' most pressing issues that keep them up at 2 a.m. in the morning. Creating compounding content like a 10 things list to act as your useful resource for your industry. And installing a relentlessly but consistent minimal viable fractional OS using AI agents, 10 weekly outreaches, and targeted engagement. When you build this opportunity system, you'll never have to start from 0 again. Opportunities don't always go to the most experienced. They go to the most visible, the most relevant, and the most strategic. Now that you understand how to build an opportunity system to attract fractional work, if you want to see how to turn these opportunities into a predictable, scalable business, go watch this video next, the system behind predictable pipeline for fractional executives. In this video, you'll see how to take these strategies, build them into a cohesive system that runs even when you're busy delivering client work. Go watch that video next.